Hey there, welcome back to our show. Hey, thanks for sharing our episodes with people in your circles. We are hitting new record numbers of downloads, and it's specifically because you, the listener, are sharing this with your friends and your family members, and you're forwarding it on to your spouses. So thank you. Keep doing that for us. And please remember, if you ever hear one of our episodes and really feel inspired by it, go on and write a review for us on whatever platform you're listening to our show on. We appreciate you so much helping us to spread this message across the globe. We have people listening in so many different countries besides the United States. It's really awesome. And again, it's because of your help. Thanks for sharing the Families of Character message. Now, today we're diving into a topic that will strengthen family bonds, build confidence, and give everyone a much needed boost. Celebrating wins as a united family. Okay, whether big or small, recognizing progress is a powerful motivator for everyone in the household. Okay, so grab a cup of coffee or turn up the volume as you fold that laundry because this episode is packed with actionable tips and inspiring insights. You know me, I like to bring the practical action, right? So that you can get started and get something going in your family today after listening to a single episode. So let's jump right in. Imagine this, okay? Your family's working toward a goal together. We talk all the time on our show about how awesome it is when you just pick one single thing to work on as an entire family over the course of a week. You just pick one small thing to work on and everybody pitches in to make progress towards it. So your family's working towards a goal. Maybe it's creating a morning routine that actually works to get you out the door on time, or everybody is pitching in to keep the house clean. Listen, when someone achieves even the smallest milestone, do you stop and celebrate that? I mean, maybe your child remembered to put their clothes out the night before for school on their own. This should be celebrated, right? These moments, celebrating these moments, it's not just about recognition, okay? People are like, oh, we overpraise kids. It's not just about praising the child. It's about motivating them, right? It's about recognizing the progress that they're making so that they want to continue on. When you acknowledge progress, you're telling your family what you are doing matters. I see your efforts. This, I'm telling you, creates a ripple effect. Kids and even us adults feel encouraged, and then we want to keep going. And here's why, okay? I've been a clinical counselor for 20 years. So I know not just from reading books and researching this, but I know by working with clients in a clinical setting that celebrating progress, celebrating the wins, activates the brain's reward system. That little dopamine hit helps absolutely everyone associate effort with positivity. And who doesn't want more of that? Okay, here's one critical piece that's often overlooked when it comes to celebrating wins. When kids see their parents celebrating their own wins, it sends a powerful message. It shows them that self-improvement isn't just a them thing, right? It's not just something that parents want kids to get better at things. It's a family thing. Okay, so imagine that your child hears you say, you know, I'm really proud of myself for being patient during that stressful drive in traffic, earlier back there. Or maybe they see you celebrate sticking to your goal of walking 3 times a week. Kids internalize these examples. They grow up knowing that progress is worth celebrating. And more importantly, that it's okay to be proud of their own growth. This realization, guys, can be transformative. It really shifts the focus from this perfection to progress. And that's where the magic happens. If you're sitting here going, man, I wish I would have known this when I was young, or I wish my parents would have celebrated their wins and I would have witnessed that. I get it. I kind of call myself a recovering perfectionist, right? That there were times when I wouldn't even try things because I thought, well, I'm not going to be able to do it really well, so why try it at all? And I still struggle with that from time to time. My mom was a very, very good baker. She still is. And it's one of the things that intimidates me. It's like, well, it can't be as good as my mom, so why even try? Well, that's kind of a defeatist mentality, right? But if I celebrate the progress of trying something, then I want to try even more. Let's also talk about the bigger picture of celebrating wins for just a minute, because we have to talk about this issue of building mental health in our families and building up confidence in our children. So celebrating wins, both individual and as a family, has a profound impact on mental health and confidence. And here's how. Okay, when family members feel acknowledged, it reduces stress and it promotes a sense of belonging, that I belong to a team, the most important team, my family. So it develops this culture of belonging when you celebrate your wins together, because people are seen, they are heard, they are observed, and being recognized for their efforts. You know, it's really, really hard to feel down when someone says, you know what, I am so proud of you for trying. Guys, recognition lifts the weight of self-doubt. Now, you might be listening and going, oh man, yeah, I got self-doubt. I've got those ants running around in my head, right? Those automatic negative thoughts, ants. If somebody points out that I'm doing a good job, or they're proud of my efforts, or they know that this work of staying home with kids and doing diapers and dishes and laundry is difficult, man, that kind of lifts that weight of self-doubt and goes, you know what? I can do hard things, right? The other way celebrating wins helps is that it improves confidence. Each celebration, no matter how small, reinforces this idea that effort leads to achievement, right? This builds resilience. What is resilience? Resilience is the ability to bounce back from difficult things, the ability to get back on our feet when something knocks us down. How often are we getting knocked down in this life? Every single day, right? There's something that just knocks us upside the head and spins us around and makes us feel like we just got whiplash for the third time today. And so we've got to have the skill and the confidence to get back on our feet and bounce back from that. When you celebrate wins, it says, even if things are hard, I can keep going, because progress is where it's at. If I just keep trying and making an effort towards the thing, that's what matters. Celebrating wins helps you overcome challenges. When you make celebration a habit, it becomes easier to tackle setbacks, right? Your family starts to see challenges as temporary because they know progress is possible. And this mindset, this grit, this perseverant mindset is what keeps everyone moving forward, even when things get tough. I want you to tune in right now, because your life is going to get harder than it's already been. And that's a hard message to hear. But after being married for 20 years, having a child who has left the nest and is on his own now, is almost 19 years old and having kids all the way down to 10, you are going to suffer. You are going to run into things that you never believed would happen to your kids, your marriage, yourself, health problems, job issues, financial stresses, issues with screens, pornography addictions, substance abuse, whatever. If you focus on celebrating wins, acknowledging people's progress when they are little, right? Or starting it now when you're listening to this and hearing it for the first time, if your kids are teenagers, or even if your kids have left the house and you're listening and you want to try this with your spouse, this is the time to celebrate wins as a family, as a couple, because it makes all the difference in keeping this grit mindset, this perseverant mindset going when the going gets tough. So there are some really practical ways to celebrate family wins, and I'm going to share them with you, okay? You might be thinking, like, how do we actually celebrate as a family without it feeling like forced or cheesy? And I get it. I've totally got you covered, okay? Here's a couple simple ideas. First of all, verbal recognition. A quick, great job trying that. I know that was tough for you, and I'm proud of you. That goes a long way. And remember, you're not praising the person. You're a good boy. That's too generic. That doesn't mean a lot to us, right? Be specific with verbal recognition. I'm proud of you for trying that new food. I'm really proud of you for going to youth group for the first time, because I know that that was difficult for you and that kind of pushed you out of your comfort zone. Great job, right? Say it in the moment and make it impactful. Just a simple observation of their effort and then putting words to it. Verbal recognition. How about a family high five, right? Bring back the old high five or the fist bump. Gather everybody for a group high five or fist bump. It's quick, it's fun, it's full of energy. It's like, yeah, that was awesome. Okay, again, you're creating the culture of your family around positivity and progress. Another idea, celebrate at dinner. Don't we all eat? We're all feeding our faces every day, right? Breakfast, lunch, dinner. We might not be together for all those meals, but anytime you sit together as a family to eat a meal, even if you're having popcorn with a movie, associate food with some wins, right? Just go around the table and share one win from the day. It can be as small as, I remember to feed the dog. Win. Awesome. Count it, right? Another great way to celebrate wins at the table, you can keep a little notepad close to the table. Andy Hickman talked about this on a previous episode on our podcast, about how just writing down one of your wins is so helpful. But then you read that as you look at it, you read it aloud to the people at the table, and then you actually read it another time aloud at half the speed. And it allows your spirit in your brain to really absorb that win and really take in that you are making a progress. It's just like an auditory hug for yourself to write it down, read it aloud, and then read it aloud a second time at half speed. If you really want that win to settle in, you know what you do? After you read it at half speed, you read just one sentence, take a big deep breath and blow it all out, and read it again, or read the next sentence. Okay, so you add some deep breathing in with it to really allow you to let that win settle in for you. We need that, folks. Okay, another idea, create a celebration jar. We've done this. What you do is you write down wins on slips of paper as you notice them. And then you put them in a mason jar on your kitchen counter, let's say, and then you read them together once a week. Or what we did is we saved them up for 30 days. So we made it our goal for the month that we were going to recognize the progress in one another and then make a statement of that progress or that win on a piece of paper and put it in the jar. And then we surprised our kids, took them out to a restaurant for dinner. And then after we ordered our food and we're sitting and waiting for the food to come, my husband pulled the jar out of his pocket and he's like, look at this. He kind of smuggled it in his coat and he pulled it out and put it on the table. And they're like, oh, cool. This is awesome. Our waiter was curious. What is this? This is so cool. What are you guys reading from this jar? People around us were looking, kind of peeking over the top of the booth. What are they doing? We went through and read what we had noticed that other people were doing to make efforts towards their goal. And it was just everybody was glowing and like, hey, I didn't know you caught me doing that well. Awesome. I do remember, making my bed 4 days in a row. That was a win, right? So creating a celebration jar, writing them down on slips of paper, and then reading them aloud is such a great way to really make those wins stick. And then for bigger milestones, someone earns a badge in American Heritage Girls, or, maybe you have a son that has gone on a particularly difficult hike or done something physical that was above and beyond what he had ever done. Plan a special family outing or have a special family treat, right? It's not about spending money or throwing elaborate parties, but it's about creating moments of joy and connection. Just to say, I see your efforts. I'm proud of you. I'm not surprised because you're a go-getter, right? But I am proud. Celebrating wins, guys, isn't just a nice thing to do. It's essential. I want you to think back about your own life. How often did your family celebrate your progress? If it wasn't much, make that different for your own family. Your spouse will be better for it too. If you are constantly wanting to know from them how you can help them celebrate progress, they're going to start looking at their lives with more positivity too. It's been said that we have over 60,000 thoughts in our mind a day, and 80% of them are negative. So let's turn that around. Let's really be intentional about drawing our attention to the wins, to the small daily actions that make progress towards our goal in our family. Remember, it's not just a nice thing to do. Celebrating wins is essential. It fosters motivation, like we talked about, builds resilience, and it creates a culture of growth and development. You are developing virtue in your kids when you create the habit of observing and describing and pointing out and celebrating wins. When kids see their parents working to improve and celebrating their progress, they learn to do the same. It strengthens mental health, it boosts confidence, and keeps everyone moving forward, even in those tough times. So here's my challenge for you. Take a moment today to celebrate one win aloud with your family. It does not matter how small the win. Just celebrate it. Make it meaningful, make it joyful, and watch how it brings your family closer together. Listen, thanks for tuning in to today's episode. And remember, if you found this helpful, don't forget to share it with a fellow parent or your spouse and leave us a review. That pumps up our podcast in the list of parent and family podcasts that are out there. And there's a lot of them. Until next time, keep celebrating those wins. And remember, progress is the goal, not perfection. Take care, and I'll catch you on another episode of our show real soon.